Tony and Blast, our turning point of the game, brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, John Sterling, and Michael Kay with a call, as that was a 5-run inning, helped get the Yankees to an 8-3 win over the Blue Jays. Stanton is where the conversation begins with Aaron Boone with Meredith and the media. Time to get to the manager's report, brought to you by Toyota.
Aaron, you'd continued to preach this early part of the season that when Stanton gets going, he's a big-time impact bat. Just that third inning at bat, what was it like in the dugout when you see him connect?
Yeah, it was a jolt. One of those right away, and I know I reacted to it. Just a really good at bat. Obviously, an inning that we built, and guys just had really good at bats in front of them to set that situation up, and got a pitch that he didn't miss and turned out to be the blow of the day. But he's been in the at bats all year is kind of what I've been seeing, just not getting the results yet, having some swing and miss in there. But obviously the last couple of days, good to get some results, and big time blow today.
Contributions up and down the order, just that inning in particular, single by Soto, 2 walks, and then that big home run. Overall, what did you think about the plate discipline yet again today?
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, made Francis really work there. Had a couple good innings against us, and then I think he threw around 40 pitches in that inning. But they just made it really tough. And again, you're not always going to get the hit. It's not always going to end how you want, but you give yourself those opportunities, you got a real chance.
4 1/3 for Luis Gil. What did you say to him after that second inning? Obviously, there was a little kind of almost back and forth with Angel Hernandez.
Yeah, honestly, I thought he was missing a little bit, and I felt like that got the best of him a little bit out there emotionally, and I just wanted him to just focus on execution. Like, don't get caught up in that. You can't get, reactive or emotional that a call doesn't go your way. It's about executing. And I thought he did a really good job after that tough inning of kind of settling in and getting back in the strike zone a little bit and attacking better. So good learning moment. He settled in and, obviously want him to get a little bit deeper, but, gave us 1-run baseball into the 5th inning and set us up today. So, but just making sure you're under control when things aren't necessarily going your way in the moment.
On your left, Gary.
When you say Stanton, or anybody for that matter, is right there in the at-bats, what are you basing that on exactly?
Just while I'm watching the game.
Is it his swing? Is it pitch recognition?
Yeah, I mean, when a guy's a little bit lost and he's not seeing the ball right or leaving the zone a ton, off balance. That hasn't been the case with G.
Gary, can you pass it back to Dave?
Aaron, Stanton has been so serious coming into this year about how this had to be a turnaround year for him. Hits that home run today. He's used to hitting long home runs. Today, he really kind of savored that one, it seemed, and gave it a little bat flip. Do you think it was good for him just to have one to kind of enjoy? Big spot, obviously, with the Grand Slam, too.
Yeah, but G's always pretty serious, and I think that's a moment there where, obviously an inning is building and you realize when you hit that one, you hit a 4-ball there, that's, a major blow in the game. And when it's no doubter, G's going to give you that little bit of emotion after it, like he does on occasion. So it was just fun to watch him get into one as that inning's building. You could feel that on the bench.
Brian, on your right.
3 hits and a couple of steals for Volpe. What are you seeing from him right now?
Just great at bats. Again, even the ones that don't end in a result for him. He's just doing such a better job of laying off pitches. He's got so much more versatility in the zone. He's using the entire field. Just fun to watch him go up there and put at bats together. It's competitive all the time now, which is exciting.
On your left, Brendan.
You guys are 8-2 to start the year. I mean, just what do you pull from this 10-game start? What's your biggest takeaway?
Early, and we've been able to win games in different ways. Again, like in a lot of ways, I don't even feel like we're totally clicking offensively yet we're doing what we need to do. We're seemingly making a big play when we had to. We've gotten enough starting pitching. The bullpens have been really good. So, it's been a little bit different. And obviously, 3 really good opponents. But we're 10 games into the marathon. Like, it's, again, I'd say that to you if we were off to a tough start. Like, it's great to rack them up. Like, they all count. So, but it's been good that, I feel like every guy in there has contributed, and especially early, that's what you need. You need guys to. You can't lean on the same guys every night. So, we found a lot of different ways to win games so far in this first 10 days.
And speaking of leaning on guys, are you going to have to lean a little extra on Nestor tomorrow, considering just how much your bullpen's been used these last couple days?
We'll see. I really wanted to stay away from Santana, actually, and he goes out and gives us just a gutsy to be able to finish that game, give us 4 big outs there. Because I was trying to stay away from him, possibly even Hamilton today. So that was big on him to finish that game there for us. We'll see. We should be okay. I mean, yeah, we need some length, but just hopefully it just goes and pitches well and sets us up again.
On your right, Greg.
What was the explanation you got on Glaber's strikeout in the first inning?
That he got back on and had time and completed his move. Definitely one of those that I want to look into and get the exact explanation of what is allowed there. He never broke his hands, which, my understanding is when you get off the mound, you got to at least break your hands. So it seemed like, I don't know, it might have been very much within the rules, but it sure felt a little odd.
Joel.
Aaron, when you took your hands up, you talked about his at-bats again. And I know he won a Gold Glove and he stole a lot of bases last year, but I just wonder if you see almost an overall refinement in his game. Like, he almost feels veteran out there, even in year 2.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's the kind of player he is. When he was coming up through our system, we envision him as kind of one of those core leader. He's got that kind of DNA to him, and he's got that kind of baseball savvy to him, and being in the middle of the diamond and playing kind of the all-around game that he plays. Made a huge defensive play for us tonight again. Yeah, I mean, he's starting to look like that complete, well-rounded, really good player, and I do think he has that. Just because I think the respect he carries in the room from the veteran guys about the way he goes about his business, and his kind of passion for all that goes into being a well-rounded player on the margins that he pours into, lend itself to him being, able to move the needle like he has to this point.
On your left, Max.
Just one more on Glaber. He continues to see so many pitches to start the year. And what kind of boost has he provided from the leadoff spot?
Yeah, I feel like he's putting together really good at-bats, which has been really, really encouraging. He hasn't got a ton of results yet either, but I do feel like the at-bat quality's been there. And, it all matters. It all adds up. And, it's those kind of things, along with others, that on a day we haven't broken through totally, has given us a chance, at some point in the middle innings or later in the game, because we've made it difficult.
Any others? All right.
On the pregame today, your key to the game was bullpen usage, and you even threw up personally the bullpen budget graphic. You held up the chart.
I don't know if I did it personally, Bob.
But again, they burned through 4 guys yesterday. It set up a challenge in the series finale today.
Yeah, we knew it going in, and you know that Aaron Boone knew it going in, that he had a depleted bullpen, and how was he going to maneuver the back end of this game? And he deserves a lot of credit for what he did today. I mean, when you have Cousins go out there, and then you follow it up with with Birdie, then Ferguson, and then he mentioned Santana and the last 4 outs. I mean, that's mixing and matching and piecing it together. And yes, you want to get length out of your starters, but there are days when a manager makes decisions in the bullpen that don't work out. Today, everything Aaron Boone did with the bullpen today worked out perfectly.
Yeah, probably one of the more difficult days he will have to manage that bullpen. We're only 10 games in. We'll see what the rest of the season brings. But I was also interested in the answers that he gave about Anthony Volpe, because I know it's only April 7th. I know it's only 10 games into the season. But your leading hitter in the American League right now is Anthony Volpe at .424. And the changes that he made in the offseason, getting his swing on more of an even plane, they have worked wondrously. You're seeing a more confident hitter. And it reminded me of a conversation I had with his father in the offseason. His dad, Michael, was talking about how hard Anthony was working. And the son said to the dad, I'm never going to hit 209 again. Well, he's a long way from 209 right now, and he's trying to stay as far away from that number as he can.
But here's the great thing. We live in a day and age of everybody learning launch angle. And you even see him on deck flash. They're kind of like doing this warm-up swing that's up. That's not him. That's what he was doing last year. He figured it out, and they let him be himself.
Yeah, let him make some adjustments like every young player is going to have to make, and you give him credit for doing the work, making the adjustments, and now you see the benefit of all of that. There was a high fastball today up out over the plate that he drilled to right field. Last year, that's working underneath, and he goes right underneath and swings right through it. So, yes, you give him credit, but when you get off to a start like this, it validates all of the work and all of the changes that he has made.
Absolutely demolished the baseball in the third inning, but fell behind 0-2 in that count. How were you able to stay alive till you found a pitch you can hit?
Just try to get something over the plate. You know, he was touching the corners pretty well, so yeah, just had to battle and make sure I gave myself a chance to get any RBIs.
Can you describe the satisfaction when you connect like that?
That's big time. That's great to be able to put us up and keep us up. That's what it's about. That's what we worked for, and I couldn't have done it without the guys getting on base too.
Hey, you mentioned that a single by Juan Soto, that Aaron Judge walks, Anthony Rizzo walks. What did you think overall today about the plate discipline?
Just manufacturing runs, you know, getting on, whether it's a hit, a walk, putting the ball in play, beating pitches out, beating infield singles out, just putting pressure on them.
Anthony Volpe, in just his second year, retooled his swing a little bit this offseason. He's seeing the fruits of his labor. 3 hits, 2 stolen bases, 2 runs scored. Overall, what have you thought of his start?
It's awesome. Just letting the ball get deep, being comfortable in deep counts, 2 strikes. That doesn't matter. He's been shooting stuff in the second base hole all year, and he's going to continue to do it.
Another series win. You guys enjoying this?
That's right. That's right. Keep it going.
Giancarlo, thanks for the time. Send it back to you.
Flash said we're kind of seeing the evolution of a young pitcher trying to be as good as he can be. His first start against Arizona, 4 2/3 innings. So he didn't go deep into the game, but just 1 hit and 1 run allowed. That was on a sac fly. And then today against the Blue Jays, 95 pitches to get through at 4 1/3. But again, limiting the damage, just 2 hits and 2 runs allowed. Let's hear from Luis Gil postgame with Meredith leading off.
Luis, it seemed like you were cruising there through 2, ran into some trouble in the third inning. How much did the ball and strike calls affect you in that inning?
Se notó, ¿verdad?, que los primeros innings iba lanzando con muy buen ritmo. ¿Te afectó de alguna manera cuando cantaron ciertos picheos bola? ¿Te afectó, te sacó de concentración en ese momento?
Bueno, en el primer inning, como todos ven, tú sabes, yo iba bien enfocado, tú sabes, pero esos par de picheos que yo tiré estuvieron cerca, pero obviamente yo quiero que me lo den, pero tú sabes, para eso están ellos de jurado del juego.
Yeah, like you said, you know, first couple innings, felt good, very focused there, executing the plan, and yeah, those pitches are close, you know, close around the zone, obviously. I want to get the call there, you know, but, you know, just stay focused and try to execute there.
Looked like Aaron Boone had a conversation with you. What did he tell you on the bench?
Hubo un momento ahí que el dirigente habló contigo. ¿Te acuerdas más o menos que te mencionó acerca de eso, tal vez de la llamada? O ¿te acuerdas más o menos?
¿Cuál inning más o menos?
You remember what inning?
After the second.
Después del segundo inning.
No, que me tranquilizara, que respirara y que ready para el siguiente inning, que ataque.
Basically encouraging words, you know, to tell me to breathe in, relax, you know, and go back out there and be on the attack.
It looked like Angel had a little bit of a chat with you after he did the sticky stuff check. What was he saying?
Notamos que el umpire de home play, Ángel Hernández, cuando te chequeó, te mencionó algo. ¿Te acuerdas más o menos qué te mencionó? Parece era como algo, no sé si era como que, mira, dejar ver el bateador. No sé si te acuerdas.
Sí, exactamente eso. Era que la regla del juego, tú sabes, que esperar a que el bateador mirara y que me aguante un poco hasta que yo mirara y que pueda pichar.
Yeah, like you said, the conversation was about actually, waiting for the hitter to be ready, to be looking at me. That's the rule now. So he was telling me to just hold a little bit and wait until the hitter is ready to hit before I execute the pitch.
Well, sometimes we see pitchers talking to certain guys on the bench, whether it's the manager, pitching coach, etc., and you're just like, okay, regular conversation. That one today with Aaron Boone and the coaches probably seemed a little more important. First of all, shake off what Angel Hernandez is doing. You really got to focus. We know what kind of guy he is. But also, we said get more aggressive. And to your point, he switched things up, right? He did get more aggressive, went back to the fastball.
Well, he got more aggressive after he had the 4-run lead, and he got more aggressive after Aaron Boone talked to him. But again, I'm going to say this a million times, young pitchers, it is a struggle when you get to the big leagues. He's got great stuff. Now he's got to figure out the rest of it, right? How to use his arsenal to the best of his ability, how to control his emotions, how to keep his pitch count down so he can pitch deeper into games. But when you look at the stuff, first of all, and then the strikeout totals that he racks up, there is so much to be excited about.
Dynamic arm. It's 14 strikeouts in 9 innings for him now. And John has caught pitchers like this. So what he says, I will just echo in that it's not easy to shut down a major league lineup that's trying to do damage to you. And in that 3rd inning, Heel was close to being out of that game. He ended up throwing 30 pitches. If he loses Biggio right there, maybe he gets one more batter or maybe he's out of the inning. So the fact that he was able to resurrect himself, get Biggio out, leave the bases loaded, then come out and pitch a relatively clean 4th and get the game into the 5th. Those are all positives. The thing the Yankees need him to do now is to be more economical. If you've got those 90 to 100 pitches, find a way to get into the 6th inning. Do not end up every start being one where the 5th inning, the bullpen's got to get a call.
All right, stick around. Speed, you saw all those stolen bases. 4 extra base hits, 3 runs batted in, and that .424 average, as Jack said, leads the American League right now. Moments ago, he talked to the media and Meredith.
Anthony, when Giancarlo hits a ball like he did there in the 3rd inning, what type of boost is that for the team? Not only to put runs on the board, but just in general.
Yeah, I think anytime he connects and hits one like that, it juices everyone up. And when he gets the fans involved, too, I mean, everyone feeds off that for sure.
Last 2 days have been good days for him at the plate. If he can continue on like that, just what does it mean for this offense as a whole?
Yeah, I think it's just another, I mean, if he goes, we all go. So he's right there in the middle, protecting all the big guys, too, and him obviously being so good, and it trickles all the way down. So I think it's huge.
3 hits for you, 2 stolen bases, 2 runs scored. What stands out to you about your day?
No, I mean, we won, so I feel like up and down, everyone contributed, and I was just happy to be able to do my part.
Does it continue to be validating knowing all the hard work you put in this offseason to kind of change things at the plate?
Yeah, I think it's motivating. It just knowing that I keep building off it, and that the work we're putting in is translating.
In terms of your performance, how would you say you feel right now compared to this time last year?
No, I feel like no, a lot's different. I feel like the team's at a really, really good spot, and like I said, last year was frustrating because I felt like I could be doing more to help the team out and help the team win. So when everything's going good and you feel like you're helping out, it feels a lot better.
Do you feel like you're on more solid footing?
No, I mean, the approach and mentality, I think, is the same. But, I mean, I definitely learned a lot from last year, and where I was this time last year versus now, I feel like it's a lot more life experience.
Anthony, are you getting the pitches that you couldn't have gotten to last year?
I'd say probably consistently, I feel like I am.
Players talk about the game slowing down after you had a little bit of time in the majors. Do you feel like things are a little bit slower for you compared to this time last year?
Or
more normal?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, learning a lot of things, there's ways to help slow the game down for yourself, and I think that's one of the big things I've been working on I mean, that's one of the things you can control is how fast or how slow or how in control yourself you are, so that's one of my big focuses.
What's going through your mind when you go to steal a base, or are you just going for it?
Well, before, there's a lot going on, but once I take off, I'm just going for it.
Okay, it seems like you, like, rolled funny on your arm on both, especially at third there.
No, I was trying to make sure, I wear the mittens, so I was trying to make sure I was still on the base.
You said the team's in a better spot right now. What's your overall takeaway from how you guys have performed for these 10 games?
Yeah, I just think it's super well-rounded. Everyone's picking each other up, and whether it's obviously within the lineup, guys picking each other up, or the bullpen picking us up, or the starters picking up the bullpen. So it's a really good feeling to go out there every night knowing there's a lot of different ways we could beat the other team.
Well, Anthony Volpe, you can tell, in a very good spot. And I think about what you've told us in the past, how it's not always just about, let's say, the 2.5, 3 hours you're on the field and between the lines. It's, for him and a young guy, learning routines, learning what works for you now, and he's figured that out, learning what it's like for all the travel and then coming home. And it's just, there's so much he's learned between a year ago and now.
Going through your rookie year being the starting shortstop for the New York Yankees in the city of New York in this market is incredibly challenging, and he had a lot of success and he had some failures too. And I think when you're an athlete and a competitor, you get away from that situation. You say, I'm not going to let that happen again. But when you come back to spring training, you come back to opening day, you have a sense of familiarity about what's going on. What do I need to expect? What's going to happen? And to your point, Bob, what routine do I need to put myself in that I know is going to work? He's clearly found something the first 10 games.
Had a couple discussions with Anthony during spring training, and that was one of the topics we talked about, is why year 2 feels more familiar, because you've done it before, so there aren't surprises lurking around every corner. We've talked a lot about the hitting refinements, and we're going to talk about that all season, because he did feel he was collapsing on his backside, he was swinging uphill, and he wasn't keeping his bat in the zone as long and as often as he should. You even out that swing, and suddenly you see the results that we're going to get. He's a very humble kid. When he's asked questions about himself individually, he always pivots and turns it back into the team. But the Yankees have to be thrilled with what he's doing, especially doing it from the bottom of the order. Remember last year, the Yankees sometimes had cleanup hitters who were guys who were more backup outfielder types. Now that lineup is much longer.
Well, he is...
It has been processed normally. Been processed normally. It has been processed normally.